Greetings. Welcome to the Captive Desk. Happy New Year, everybody. Thought I'd pop on and wish everybody Happy New Year and wish everybody all the best for the coming New Year. I hope you had a good holiday, whatever holiday you celebrate this time of year. And if anybody wants to hop in and chat, I put the link up there and hop in. I just thought I'd take a look at the year here, and most of my content has been 2023. I only had a few videos up in 2022, even though I started in 2022 in April. So I thought I'd just take a look, and hopefully my videos have gotten a little better and feel a little more comfortable on camera and talking to people, and enjoy talking with everybody that's been on the channel. So let's get my screen up here. There we go. You drop this out. There we go. If I can grab an edge somewhere. My volume's funny. Let me check. Check, check, check. Check, check. Check, check. Drop my mic in closer here. Maybe I'm not talking right. Happy New Year, Sydney. See if that's better. I don't think I changed anything. Should be on. Does it? Why is it doing that? I don't have none of the stuff on. Hmm. I wonder why it's acting up. All right. Well, we'll see. Maybe it'll clear up. Maybe it's my connection. I don't know. The microphone is reading okay. What if I turn it up? Try that. Test. Hmm. All right. I turned it up. Let's see what's going on. Hi, Carrie. Hello, Dr. Tapioca Weasel. Good to see you. I don't know why my sound would go in and out, but we'll see what's going on here. Maybe I need a drink. I don't have anything else running. This isn't running. So, all right. Yeah, so I was gonna take a look at what's going on with my channel. Take a look back. Like I said, I started my channel in 2022, but I started making most of my stuff this year. I need my notes here. Bible outdated. In my videos, I can go back to pretty much when my channel started. I only had 6 videos and my little Merry Christmas thing, and went back to this was when I was still talking with Bread. Bread don't like to talk to me anymore. I try to be cool with everybody. Unfortunately, Bread got mad at me, and I still try to not get too bent or whatever about it or anything. And but I don't know. I said something wrong, I guess, and that was that. So, um, not set out to make any enemies. I try to be cool with everybody, even if I disagree with people. But Rebecca doesn't want to talk to me anymore, and I think Sal is the one of the few people, if anybody, that is the only one, as far as I know, that has got me blocked. So, but otherwise, Rebecca actually got me started because I popped on her channel, and that was actually the first time I was ever on YouTube. So it's kind of a shame that we had a falling out, but as it is, as it is. So but then I saw people were making videos about being a believer, and so I made a video about being a believer and then being a non-believer. And I didn't really have a great conversion story or anything like that, but I figured I would put mine out there. So I made a little video. It's not very long, 14 minutes, just saying, that I'm not a believer and a little bit about why I'm not. And then I did my stop it video. I got kind of bent one day. Just everybody's an expert on everything these days, right? And I'm just sick of hearing it, whatever it is, social issues, um, climate, uh, medical issues, whatever it is. And the self-proclaimed experts were just getting on my nerves. So I made that little video basically just saying, stop it, right? I mean, you're not qualified. You're not repeating anybody that's qualified. You just need to stop it. So, and I had Bob Newhart in there when he was doing the stop it bit. I threw that in there. Yeah, that's my stance on. You want to know my stance on just about everything? That's what it is right there. It's I defer to the experts, and if it's social issue or something, um, you got to go to the experts, and you got to listen to what people have to say too, what they're going through and everything. You got to put it all together. And if you just know it all, you don't. You don't. Okay, the smartest people in the world do not know it all. Okay, there's just you just don't. Okay, so and then Deconverted Man was on earlier. He was doing something similar, and I kind of borrowed it from him. So I'm sure he doesn't mind. He was kind of looking back at his channel. So I said, all right, well, I'll take a look around my channel too, because Deconverted Man's been on my channel a few times. We had some laughs, and Deconverted Man did a little bit about where he took a look at my channel, and this is when I was first starting, and he was kind of picking on it for it doesn't have much on here and all this kind of stuff, and it did inspire me to fill in the blanks a little more. So yeah, if you do have a channel, fill in all your little blanks, your abouts and all that kind of stuff, because otherwise people might pick it apart on you. Okay. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I guess you could call it a review video. He just kind of picked it out and did that, and it was kind of neat. Had a lot of laughs, and then coming up here, we'll do a video too. Um, there's a lot of I was watching a lot of videos going around about people predicting the future and prophecy, and every religions and religious texts and religious people and down the line all claim to have. So I put it out there that if you can predict the future, post something here uh, that is after the day that you post it, with a what, a where, and a when, and we'll see what happens. And nobody's ever posted anything, but it's out there. It's just a straight up offer. If you can predict the future, predict something after the time that you predict it and post it, and we'll see. Straight up. And then, yeah, then I had a talk with Deconverted Man, did a little interview, and we had fun with that. Again, check out Deconverted Man. If you don't already know who he is, he's very entertaining, very energetic. He puts out a lot of content, and he does serious stuff too. He takes part arguments pretty well. So, and then one of my first serious works on a video was the Shroud of Turin. I put a lot of work into this. I read more papers than I think I've ever read. Um, I wanted to be as fair as possible. I wanted to take in the biblical account and what the theologians say and what the church says. And I think I did a fair job. Judge for yourself. I was pretty proud of it. And that was the first time one of the first times I playing around, learning how to do a little bit of graphics and mix things and everything. So, and then I had Jim Hall. Jim Hall reached out to me, was giving me some advice and everything. And, you know, probably know Jim Hall from the Atheist Edge. So Jim was on, and we had a nice interview, and he gave some tips and the atheist commandments list that he made up. We went over that, and we had a nice talk. Great guy. Appreciated him coming on. And then I found a program to make an intro video. Started, I'll make a little cool little intro video. So, of course, this was borrowed, and it's got the name on it. Was it Place It, I believe, or something? Yeah. So, but trying to improve the channel, make a video, little intro video. So that was pretty cool. And then I had a live stream with Seth. That's in my live videos. But Seth had a short. I couldn't resist. It was talking about Ken Ham's leaky pond. And they had the people out there with their sticks trying to find the leak, the divining rods. Just had me cracking up that they're out there with their sticks trying to find the leak in the pond. And so I made a little short with it. So it was pretty hilarious. Seth worked for Ken Ham, and this is from the interview that's on my other list. Seth, great to talk to, and gave a little insight into the behind the scenes of what goes on in the Ken Ham establishments. And then I borrowed one of Jim Hall's the 22nd commandment, and I posted that in a little short. And I believe this was about the time I had a falling out with Bread. Bread did a miracle healing on this Deli Knox lady, and I debunked it in the chat originally. And I did the video, and neither one of them made her too happy. I didn't say anything mean or nasty. I just said that from the looks of everything, physical therapy did a great job. That's basically what I said. And all the evidence showed that it was physical therapy, Excuse me, I need a drink. But maybe it hurt some feelings. So again, it wasn't my intent. I thought it was a great story. This woman was in a wheelchair, okay, for years, and she's out of the wheelchair. I think that's a great story. And I think if you want to, thank your Jesus or your God or whatever, that's all fine. But there should be a little sharing the thanks with all the wonderful people that worked in the physical therapy with her for many, many years. That would be nice, right? I'm happy for her. I'm happy for anybody that gets out of a wheelchair. That's wonderful. We need more of that, right? But I guess it hurt feelings. So. And I did a funny little short. People know I talk about my pond. I got a hobby that I have a little garden pond, and so I made a Nessie. I couldn't find one. I was shopping around, and you figure somebody would have a little Nessie that would float around or something. There's a lot of dragons and all kind of other little critters that you can get for your ponds. I couldn't find a Loch Ness monster, so I made a Nessie, and I floated in the pond. It was a test float, and so I made a quick little video that Nessie was spotted. because my grandfather was an immigrant from Scotland, and I have a soft spot for Scotland. So, of course, I have to have a Nessie in my pond, right? So, I have one. It doesn't have all the extra little foam anymore. That's all tested out and everything. But I got it. I got it pretty buoyant now, so it's in the pond. So, and then I think everybody pretty much remembers and knows about the James Tour and Professor Dave debate, and everybody was doing reviews on it, and I I just wanted to make a quick comment, so I cut it up, sped it up, spun stuff around, and just kind of made it silly and goofy little thing. But it did pretty good. It 264 views. And I was like, wow, that was really cool. It's one of my first videos that got a bunch of views. And it was just something that, I just was playing around with it and playing around a lot of the editing tools and everything and just seeing what I could do. And did pretty good. So that was pretty neat. So, you just never know. Sometimes you work on something really hard and it's only got 100 views. And then I do something like this and it's 264. So you just don't know. Sometimes things hit. It's pretty cool. So, and then Deconverted Man, he sends me a script to play God. And I was like, how can I turn down playing God, right? So I voiced God in his video and then I reposted it. Excuse me. And it was silly little skit, but it was fun. And again, how can you turn down playing God? So I told him last time I chat, and maybe might have been today, that my ego's never been the same since I played God, right? So again, Deconverted Man, good for a laugh. And then Bree at Hiveside got a hold of me and said, hey, you want to review The Legend of Boggy Creek with me? And I said, heck yeah, I want to do a review of Boggy Creek with you. Big fan of Bree. Sure, most of you know who Bree is. If not, you need to go subscribe with Bree over at Hiveside. Bree is a lot of fun with the cryptids. Won my heart, when she's talking about Bigfoot and everything. And she also knows a lot of other stuff about bugs and everything. Well learned on the topics she's into. So Saturday mornings with Bree, always a good time. And I had a great time with her doing this. And I hadn't seen Boggy Creek, so I saw it. I don't know how. Somehow it slipped under my radar, but now I'm up on it, so I've seen it. And then Pat Robertson passed away, and goodbye. I mean, that's pretty much what I had to say. Yeah, so goodbye. And then Trees and I was talking, and Trees said, I got it. Obviously, I talk about Bigfoot a lot, right? And Trees said, hey, I got a Bigfoot story, and I like Bigfoot stuff and everything. Maybe we should do a video. And then we decided, well, maybe we could just, start making videos, and we'll just call it its own name, right? So Trees and I were talking back and forth. He's like, how about the Grassman Chronicles? And it's like, sounds good to me. So Trees and I started doing that, and here comes the promo for the first show. And we are up to See, this will be number 7 show coming up here now. So having a lot of fun with that, doing the videos with trees. And go check out trees at Look at the Trees. A lot of great content over there. And I came across Farmer Josh. And Farmer Josh likes to repeat a lot of Frank Turek and some of the other young Earth apologists. And listening to him, I was like, a lot of this stuff sounds very familiar. And sure enough, he's repeating a lot of it word for word. And I put in some cuts in there showing he's repeating it, a lot of it word for word. And this again, I called in help from Deconverted Man. We had a little fun with it. I made a lobster signal, like a bat signal in the sky, right? And called him in, and he shows up like the superhero. Glad to help you, Captive Desk, right? Had fun with it. And I also had a clip in there from Grayson too. One of the points in the video, Grayson, I remember, had just talked about it in one of his debates. So I emailed him and I said, "Hey, can I borrow the clip from that debate, right? And put in my video." And he said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So there's a Grayson clip in there. Appreciated that. Always appreciate the help from everybody. And then this is technically a live stream, but because I reposted it, it's a video on my channel. I've been on with Speed at Answers in Atheism several times. And then I said, well, hey, could I just, repost it on my channel? And Mike's like, sure, repost it on your channel. Mike's real supportive of my channel, and we talk a lot. If you haven't seen him on lately, it's because he had gallbladder surgery. He's recuperating, but he's doing well, and so we hope to have him back again to his usual ornery self. Mike, wish you all the best. I'm sure everybody out there wishes you the best. Got a little tender there from poking his belly, but we wish him the best. And we all know that Mike's tough, so expect him back soon. So we were talking about everybody's favorite Donnie Deals over at SFT, and it did really well. For a repost, over 400 views. So that was pretty cool. First time one of my videos really did really big like that. And we've done a few other ones. Again, I was chatting with Speed, who's also Mike at Answers in Atheism, and Scott, who often joins him as co-host. And both of these guys are great to talk to, and make sure you check out Answers in Atheism. Mike needs like 30 more subs or something to get to 666. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, spread the word, get Mike those subs. Okay. So I've been over there many times now. I don't know, maybe a dozen times or something. So always great conversations over there. And then we started the Grass Man, and I made some promos for that. I published, again, I like to talk about the ponds. So I had the underwater camera out. I thought I would share a little bit with the underwater camera. So there you go. See underwater with my fish, and a little bit with my new Japanese maple and everything I was showing off. And then back to bread. Bread had Ahmed on, I believe it's Ahmed, talking about evolution, and he says really silly stuff. So I had to make it silly back. So yeah, he gets a clown nose, and some circus music and made fun of him because the stuff he says is just terrible. And I don't know why Rebecca thinks he makes any good points. I don't know. Just because they get to sit there and laugh about how silly atheists are, I guess. So, hey, knock yourselves out, right? And then I don't like to speak of the Hovind. Wish the Hovind would go away. But Hovind likes to do a thing with a deck of cards. And he does it. Oh, it's everybody knows Hovind has the same things he just repeats all the time, right? One of them is his deck of cards. And if you lay down cards, they're all the same age. And it's like, no, if you lay down a card and then a millisecond later, you lay down another card, they're laid down at different times. And it was just bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. So I made a video where I laid down a card and then I turned over a timer. And then I laid down another card and I turned over a timer. See, they're at different times. So how long the ages are of the layer is irrelevant. There's a difference of time when they're laid down. That was all my point was. And I put on my Hawaiian shirt to make a hint that it's the Hovind without really mentioning him by name. And now I have to wash my mouth out with soap. That's enough about that. The dude gives me the creeps. I don't really do videos about him. A lot of other people do. Mama and AJ and Claude and Knock Yourselves Out. Gives me the creeps though. I thought about doing videos about Hovind, but I just don't like. Just gives me the creeps. So, and then again with Rebecca talking about evolution, and you notice I'm not saying anything about her beliefs or her religion. Okay. It's when she's talking this nonsense about creationism. Okay. So this is irreducibly complex, maybe type argument, that it has to be this way. So I just did a quick little point of if I can just show one thing that proves that hearts evolved from our ancestors, that's all I had to do. So I've just put up one argument. There you go. We're related to fish. So there you go. Oh, Donnie Deals was bugging Erica again. Yeah, I borrow the Donnie Deals from her. She's gonna win out every time. She's very smart, and Donnie's just a car salesman, and I don't think he believes any of that stuff. Really, I don't. I think he just wants Hovind's crowd. So, but another one that likes Donnie Deals is Rebecca, because he agrees with Rebecca, or Rebecca agrees with him. So they like each other. So they can have each other. And then Mike was kind of amused by my video because, again, I've been working, trying to do stuff. I had a little, so I made moldy Jesus toast and put it up for a head, and trying to play with graphics a little bit, learning stuff. And if anybody hasn't done any type of graphics or anything like that, you just got to play with it and learn how to do stuff, and just improve as you go. And I started out just with simple stuff, and then I'm trying to improve my stuff and get motion graphics going and stuff. And so, but Mike had a good laugh. So we did a little after show about it, and when we were talking about it. So we had fun because, again, like talking with Mike. And then Deconverted Man, I was watching a video, and he spotted me in the chat, and he said, "Hey, Dave, why don't you buy my book and review it?" Just, clowning around, whatever. And I was like, I just might do that, right? So I got his book, and this was like a promo that I'm reading his book. So I read his book, and then we did a review interview type thing about it. So yeah, he was being snarky, and I took him up on it. I said, "All right, we'll do your." But it's a pretty good book, so check it out. Yeah, Donnie he's just the way he kisses up to Hovind, really, that's just a little bit too much. The other stuff is one thing, but like I say, the dude, he gives me the creeps. And then we came up on the Grassman Scotland episode. So we did I again started playing around with some more graphics. I borrowed some stock footage and some stock bagpipe music, and I mixed it all up and made a cool intro and everything. And it was also going to fall. Well, it did fall on my birthday. So I was like, oh, cool. I have a, cool stream, but we'll get to what happened here shortly. And then made up some shirts for Trees and I, right? You got to have a t-shirt, Grassman Chronicles, put the logo on. And then we decided to have a giveaway because giving back to people and everybody thanking, especially everybody that spread the word and got everybody watching. And we've had some videos that did very well on views. So that was really cool. So we thought, hey, we'll have a little giveaway, and it's my birthday. So we'll give somebody, a t-shirt. So we had a little giveaway, and Crystal won a t-shirt. It was a lot of fun. Played a little game, and we're going to have another one coming up too. So, and then again, trying to improve as I go along. So I made a new intro video, and I made it myself this time. I didn't, so it doesn't have a watermark or anything. And I made up my own little beat. So it's got my own music and everything. So it may not be world class, but it's mine, and I made it. It's all me. So I improved my intro video and move it up through another episode of the Grassman Chronicles. And then we announced, well, you know what? We should probably put it over to its own channel, right? So we started another channel, and we started working on, hey, letting everybody know it's got its own channel. And we are up to like 56 subscribers, I think, last I looked. So we're getting there, and we wanted at least 50 people over there. So I had a big push to get people over there, and we got it up over 50. And that's going to set Trees giveaway in motion. So I told Trees, there we go. So as soon as we can get a work schedule figured out, we'll have that coming up. And another show with Mike over at Answers in Atheism, talking about consciousness. And I started playing around with the AI, I think, with about the sea monsters, I think. So I started getting AI pics on. So got an AI of a brain for consciousness. And then I was watching an SJ video, and SJ had this guy on, this Ken guy, and that led to the Hugh Ross thing. And I didn't know Hugh Ross was so over the edge about aliens and everything and stuff, but he is. And I was like, wow, because I always thought, and I even cited Hugh as pretty moderate, working with BioLogos and trying to refute a bunch of the young Earth creationists. He's debated Hovens and Ham, and all the others were there, Jason Lyle and everybody. Um, Turns out when you start talking about aliens and demons, Hugh is really out there, and I couldn't resist. So, and hey, AR, hello, Claude, good to see you. Robin, hello. Now it's President Tapioca Weasel. Got a promotion. It's always good to see you, Sydney. So yeah, so I found out a lot of things about Hugh Ross that I didn't know before. He thinks all the UFOs are demons, and everything is demons. He's one of the demons everywhere. You do astrology, if you do the Ouija boards, if you do the tarot cards, if you listen to, I'm guessing, like rock and roll, metal type music, um, any of that stuff, you open up the portals and there's demons everywhere. And wow. So, uh, so I made the Hugh Ross, and it did really 389. I was pretty proud of it. I played around with him a little bit. I put some graphics in. I got a little UFO flying around and stuff in there, kind of goofing around. Again, learning more stuff and how to do it, how to move graphics around on the screen and everything. So, and then I would say this will be with the live, but I did the summoning stream that all ties together. And this was me checking the skies afterwards, looking for the UFOs that you promised me. And I'll get back to that because I ain't seen any. And then we had a rough patch. The neighbor lost his wife, and I lost my uncle. My uncle is one of the last folks in the family tree. I have some cousins, but the old crew, I guess I would say, as far as all the grandparents are gone, all the aunts and uncles, and stuff. And so it's really sad that Malcolm passed away. He was a good guy. So I was feeling a little emotional. So I had a few things to say about death. And it's not a real popular topic, not very many views, but I understand. It's a bummer. But I sat down, I wrote it out, it made the video in like an hour or something like that. It was just, things were going on in my head, and I just wrote it down, did a video right then and there. So that's what it is. And then we're getting up to Halloween. So, of course, we promo the Grassman, and we did Halloween characters for fun. It was a good time. And Therese said, well, hey, my sibling might be interested. So Slew came on with us, and we had a good time. Slew covered one of the stories. And all these folks are, if you want any of these links, they're on my page at the bottom. I link everybody, so check them out. And then Ken Ham's one of my pet peeves, and Avery works for Ken Ham, and of course they are not friendly to the LGBTQ plus community. and she was running her mouth, and I kind of twisted everything back on her, what she was saying that's in the Bible that kind of says, well, the Bible uses a lot of pronouns and stuff like that. So a little jab back at them, right? They, well, let's not talk about it. Uh, we all know where they lean, and it's just not right. Okay. And I had another update. I wanted to get the telescope out, but come fall, a lot of days are like this, they're all cloudy. And so, but coming up, I hope to have one of these. I've got a camera that goes on the telescope and everything. If I can just get some clear weather, because we had really, between the fires and then we had really weird weather over the summer. We had a lot of rain, and then right into fall, it's like I haven't seen hardly any stars at all. It's been really weird. So, but hopefully, we'll get some clear skies, and we're going to look for some UFOs. I'm going to do it. Just got to get some good weather. If you're asking who Sumami, Avery works at AIG, which is Answers in Genesis that Ken Ham owns. A lot of their videos are on abortion and LGBTQ. You see the rainbow flag in a lot of their videos. And one of the talks he was doing, he even has a thing up on the podium there with a rainbow figure or something like that. So, and the guy that he hired, Martin Isles, that's coming in, he's special too. I'm working on a video on this guy, and yeah, he's not good news. He's, well, I need Deconverted Man or somebody here to cuss for me. I don't like to cuss on my channel, but if I was gonna cuss, I'd be cussing about this guy. He's not a good guy. Not a good man. And then conversing with Kentucky Atheist, who was just on. I don't if he wrapped up over there or not. I see Robin stopping by, so maybe. But so Kentucky Atheist was, we were back and forth, and Kentucky was checking out my stuff and said, "Oh, you like, all this, that?" And I said, "Yeah." And said, "Oh, I was going to talk with Robin about some of this kind of stuff and for the Halloween, season and everything. And you want to join in?" And I said, "Heck yeah, I want to join in." So I went over and got on with Kentucky Atheist and talked to Robin. And Robin was all dressed up for the season, as you can see, and talking tarot cards and a few other things. And learned a few things. It was a lot of fun. Know a little bit more about tarot cards now, and yeah, that'd be fun, Robin. Um, we'll we'll do something. We'll set something up here. But Robin's a lot of fun to talk to, um, and I didn't know anything. I say I'll get back to it with my other video, but I didn't know anything about this stuff going in. And when I did my video, I didn't know anything. I literally opened the box and was reading the directions. Okay. I didn't know anything. And I wanted to do it kind of intentionally that way, to be blind and unbiased, right, as I could be, right? So I literally opened the box, read the directions, and then that's all I knew. So I was watching a few videos. There's people that do readings and stuff, but it's hard to learn because really they're just doing it. So Robin took the time to answer some questions, so just on some basics, and Robin was giving herself a hard time that she didn't remember a lot and everything and stuff. But we were just talking basics. So um, at least I understand, kind of how it's done. So and we had a lot of fun with that. And then there's some folks that struggle with different things. And there's some folks in the community that were and are dealing with some things. And the talk of addiction came up. I think my camera seems to glitch. There we go. Are you back? This is demons. Rebecca's watching, wishing demons on me. Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, a little bit of lag. So, but yeah, they were talking about stuff, and I lost my brother to alcohol addiction. He didn't live to see 50, and so I did a little memory of him with a borrowed clip from the talk. Kentucky Atheist has done some talks, and with some other folks. I don't want to mention everybody, but y'all knew who you are. And if you want to go watch the video, you can see who all they are and their stories. And the Trusty Ape has been going through some stuff and posting videos and doing well. So we wish the ape well. And anybody else that's dealing with stuff out there, we wish you all the best. And we support you. And hey, way to go, right? I know it's tough to kick these habits. So good for you. And may you have a better new year. All right. And then I had say a bunch of these have to go to the lives. I do some interviews too, just having folks on for some friendly chit chat, have a good time. And one of them was Tobin Templeman. And Tobin, if you're out there, I wish you all the well too. Tobin came on and I asked him, well, how about if you showcase a little bit of your talent at the end of the interview? Because Tobin does some music and everything, right? Puts out some music videos. So he's, yeah, sure, I'll have my guitar handy, right? Well, then he wrote a little Bigfoot song, and it was just so awesome. I mean, it was just so awesome. What can I say? So I made a little clip and made a little video. I put lights and Bigfoot's watching and everything. So oh man, it was just awesome. Wrote a Bigfoot song, Thanks a lot, Tobin. It's still one of my most favorite songs ever. And I mean that sincerely. I really do. I love it. And like I say, I like to promo the Grass Man, let everybody know what we're going to have coming. And then I guess the demons got to me. I had a bug in November and I was just under the weather, miserable, and things got put off. So we had to put off the Grass Man. So things have gotten bumped up a little bit here lately. But we didn't want to rush things or anything. We wanted to make sure we did it and had time to do stuff. And we still had some glitches doing it because there was a mess up with the script, emailing them back and forth. So it was a good thing we waited, though, or it probably would have been a real mess. So, but we covered it. Hello, Nara. How you doing? Good to see you. And congratulations on making Paul's list. It's great. You and Maya and everybody else that was on the list. That's awesome. Where was I at? Oh yeah, we had issues, but yeah, we got it together, and then the show went on. So, And again, I checked the skies. I tried, follow up, checking the skies. And that's from the Hugh Ross video, because Hugh said if you dabble around with this stuff, that the UFOs are going to show up. So when it's at least somewhat clear out, I go out and I'm checking the skies. Okay. So I'm doing follow ups. I ain't seen no UFOs. Nothing's beamed me up. Nothing's landed in my yard. And I'm a little disappointed, Hugh. All right. But I am following up on it. And the telescope is part of that. It will come. Okay. And if anybody wants to join in, I pinned the link there. I'm just chit chatting about my channel. If anybody wants to stop in and chat or whatever. I don't know why my camera's glitching on me, but okay, whatever. Maybe because I got the other window open. It might be slowing it up. If I make it a little smaller. Okay. So yeah, I do check in with checking the skies. Still no UFOs, Hugh. But I'm as open-minded as I can be, and trust me, if some friendly aliens landed and wanted to take me for a ride, I'm going for a ride. Okay, I think that would be sweet. Okay, I'm not so close-minded that I don't want an advanced civilization showing up. Hopefully friendly. That'd be great. But nothing's happened, and not even an illusion of one. That's some evil spirit trying to be a UFO. So, and I say we announced get to 50 subs, and Trees is putting together a giveaway. If you're not subscribed to the Grassman Chronicles, subscribe to the Grassman Chronicles for a chance to win. We're going to pick a winner among subscribers. Trees is doing the giveaway, so I'll let him do the details. But we are doing another giveaway, so stay tuned. That's coming up shortly, hopefully within a week here or so. Okay. Again, we're giving back to everybody, and appreciate everybody watching and everybody that's subscribed over there, and hopefully we'll get that channel rolling over there. And then just a few weeks ago, I came across a ICR video, and what's his name? Frank, I think. Oh, he was just terrible. And what's disappointing is he's got degrees in biology and zoology, and he kept repeating everything. So I repeated everything, and a few people commented that I probably could have done it shorter and it would have been a little better. And I kind of agreed, but it was also kind of the idea of I was being annoying and repeating things back because he kept repeating everything. So that was kind of like the idea. But can't sometimes the joke doesn't come across well, right? But it still got a couple hundred views. So, and again, playing with graphics, and I did a lot of stuff having the crying scientist and my desk up there with graphics and Darwin popping in when Darwin was mentioned and everything. So try to add more stuff, make it a little fancier every time, everything. So if you haven't made videos before, just start making them. And then as you go, just add stuff as you learn. Okay. That's all you can do. And hopefully, to me, I can see that my stuff's looking better. I hope everybody else thinks my stuff's looking a little better. But you can do so much more that you want to do once you start learning how to do editing and stuff a little more, and some of the tricks and some of the different programs. And then you can catch people like Geo Sam and Nerdy Rodent and all the other ones that give you tips on how to do these different graphics things. And so, check all them out and just, learn how to do it. And it's a lot of fun once you learn how to use the tools and everything and you can actually do stuff. Hello, Tux. Good to see you. The aliens are not here. We are a figment of your imagination. Robin's spell didn't work. Well, Kentucky's getting pretty close. I know he wanted to get to 1,000, but the day's not over yet. So, like I say, if you want to do videos and stuff, just make your videos, and hopefully that by my views that I'm doing a little better on my videos, because I made a video with let's say the zoologist. It was over 200 views, and that's pretty good for my channel. I have about 220 subscribers, so. And then just recently, I was saying, yeah, I was happy with, a couple hundred views is pretty. I'm usually happy with a couple hundred views. That's great, right? Well, Georgia was saying something in a short video she made, and she pretty much handed me the joke because she's using words like the world thinks we're crazy and stuff. So I cut it up a little bit and threw it back at her, and got over 400 views. So that was pretty cool. And then the celebration with Bigfoot, and why I put the thumbnail up with Bigfoot celebrating. I made a little short for Christmas. That's in, I think that's in, well, yeah, that'll be last year. Okay. I didn't think that made, anyway, last year for Christmas, I did a little thing. I read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas just to make a little Christmas video, wish everybody Merry Christmas, right? So I was thinking, oh, I need to put up something for Christmas Eve. So I made this little Christmas video, and I switched things around from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, so that this year it's the Bigfoot's Night Before Christmas. And it blew up over 760 views, 760 views. So and I put it out Christmas Eve, and right through the holiday, it had about 100 views, and I was happy. It was 100 views, and it was to wish everybody Merry Christmas. And then the other evening, it just took off. It got 600 views or whatever in one evening, and so it was. I got in the algorithm somehow, whatever, and so I hope everybody enjoyed it. Let's say it was to wish everybody Merry Christmas, and it was the little twist on because I did 'Twas the Night Before Christmas last year. So if you didn't know that, now you do. I want to check out my lives here real quick. And I think, what was it? I was going back to the subs one. So let's say I like to do interviews. I've had a bunch of interviews with people, and appreciate everybody coming on. A lot of great anecdotes, and learn a few things and tips and everything else folks have given. It's great talking with everybody, and I still enjoy talking with a lot of you back and forth when we do, and I go on other folks' channels and stuff, so enjoy carrying on the conversation. Hang on, I clicked my thing off. All right, there we go. So this is the ones before. I said I had a couple in 2022, and starting in 2023, I hit 100 subscribers, and I was like, wow, 100 subscribers. It's great. So I had a little live stream. A bunch of folks came on. Bree was on. I can't remember. I think Gurr was on. We had a good time. And then the Jim Hall, I mentioned the Jim Hall interview. Great interview. Jim's a great guy. Had a great conversation. And then the short I mentioned with Seth about Ken Ham's Leaky Pond. This is Seth's interview. Seth talking about when he was a believer, when he was a young earth creationist, when he worked for Ken Ham, and where he's at now. We had a great talk. Seth's great to talk to, very friendly, and posts a lot of stuff on Facebook and stuff. And then Seth also hooked me up with Leah, and I talked with Leah coming up because Leah also worked at Answers in Genesis. So I got a little insight about what it's like to work behind the scenes because, again, Ken Ham is my nemesis. And I don't know what, my camera keeps lagging. Dang it. Let me give it a breather here. I think it's because I got this other window running. But yeah, Seth, great guy, great conversation. And coming up, Seth returns to talk about Ken Ham some more. So, and then speaking of trees that I do the Grassman Chronicles with, I had Trees on because Trees' channel is Look at the Trees. And it was just a discussion about the argument of look at the trees as proof of God. And it came up that Look at the Trees was talking about look at the trees. And I said, hey, why don't you come on for a talk about looking at the trees? Because your look at the trees that was looking at the trees, and you get it. So round and round it went. And so, yeah, I talked to Look at the Trees about looking at the trees. So, and again, I like doing the interviews. I kept on going. And we had Grayson from Base Theory. Grayson's very smart on what he knows. Grayson does a great job in the debates. Go check out Grayson at Base Theory. His channel's blowing up over there. He does a great job. Does a great job with his videos too. And a couple of times now I've emailed Grayson asking him questions and stuff, and he helped me out. So I appreciate it. Appreciate you, Grayson. And I had Steve on, and we had a little controversy when Steve was on, but it also opened some dialogue with some folks. And I think in the end, it worked out that we got the dialogue out there, and everybody knows where everybody stands. And I think that's where we can leave that be. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. I was talking you up a little bit ago. I hope you're doing better. Hope you had you enjoyed your dinner. And speaking of Mike, right on time, Mike is a secular Buddhist. And I said, Mike, why don't you come on and we'll talk about the secular Buddhism? I've explored some Buddhism and I appreciate some of the practices. There's a lot of things in Buddhism that don't have woo involved. And Mike is pretty much on that path of Buddhism. He takes the things that are useful, and you don't have to adopt all the woo to follow some philosophies that might help you with things and clear your mind or expand your mind. And Mike's been working on that, and we hope to hear a lot of interesting conversations coming up about that. And Deconverted Man had me on his channel. So I had Deconverted Man back on my channel. Again, I like talking with Deconverted Man. He cracks me up. Made a nice little online friendship talking back and forth. And, Deconverted Man, sometimes he just sends you stuff in your email and you get quite a surprise. And, always beware of links from Deconverted Man. But yeah, we have a good time and great talking with him again. And as always, and again, doing a lot of these are interviews. James Apperson, I know a lot of you know James Apperson. James has a great voice. He has a great style. He's I don't know. He's got a great style. I guess that's as good as I don't want to ruin it by trying to add to it. I love listening to James stuff, and he also writes his blogs too. And I know he's talking about possibly getting his stuff like into a podcast type thing going. So we'll see. I know a lot of us enjoy listening to James when he's on. So we hope to hear more from James in the future. And you can find James at James Apperson. And then I had on Mark Reed, another great interview. What can I say? Mark does a great job. Smart guy, knows the stuff he's debating, comes well prepared. Great to talk to. He does a lot of content, and he does a lot of content with Ember. And we had a great talk. What did I think I gave oh yeah, there was a talk about Mark said he was a self-proclaimed nerd. So I said, well, we'll put him to the test. So we gave him a nerd test when he was on, and he passed it with flying colors. So, and it was all in fun, of course, and we had a great talk. And Mark had on a interesting video review about Jesus Bigfoot, and so he had to make up a Jesus Bigfoot emoji for his channel. And oh yeah, so I've got a Bigfoot emoji channel member perk now. So that was really great. Again, a lot of folks know with the Bigfoot stuff. Dave's always in on the Bigfoot jokes, so of course Mark said something about Bigfoot, and yeah, so and R and Ra had something going on. They were talking about Bigfoot in a couple of streams the last few days too. It's always great when somebody's talking about Bigfoot because we love Bigfoot here. We love Bigfoot at the Grassman Chronicles. And if you don't know, in Ohio, Bigfoot is the Grassman. So that's why it's the Grassman Chronicles. Hello, Maya. How you doing? Good to see you. Some things every time I touch something, this other thing drops out. Hello, Tux. Good to see you.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Happy New Year. New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to everyone out there. I was just rolling through it, talking with Mark Reed. And And I had Dan Phelps on. Dan Phelps is an unsung hero. It was really great talking with Dan, and I've had him on again with Seth and Mike. You don't know who Dan Phelps is? Again, he's an unsung hero. He's behind the scenes. All the information that comes out about Ken Ham and his ARC and the tax breaks and all the things that go on, public information requests are usually put in by Dan Phelps, and that's why we know about it.
Is he the son of Fred Phelps?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of. But Dan is a geologist and a paleontologist. He / paleontologist, a science educator, and a thorn in Ken Ham's side. He's also wrote letters to the editor type things. He's behind a lot of that stuff that we know about what goes on, and he continues to do it, finding out things about that Ken Ham is a part owner in a Learjet, and he found out this Learjet goes to the Cayman Islands, and we don't know what's going on, but there's the information, and he puts it out in his emails. So,
oh, really?
He's always up on what Ken Ham is doing, and then what the new plan is with the new guy coming in and the new building they have. And Dr. Joel Duff also is always covering a lot of what's going on there too. So if you want to know what's going on with Ken Ham, follow Dan Phelps. You can find him on Facebook. And Joel Duff, both of them are always covering what's going on in Ken Ham land. Great interview, a couple hundred views. I was really proud of the interview. I thought it was a great interview. And Dan's always welcome back. Dan was also in the documentary We Believe in Dinosaurs. That's why it's up in the background there. So you can also catch that. I think it's on Amazon for a couple dollars or something like that. And then we had Tony Reed stop by.
Tony Reed, I like his stuff. I am the opposite of your normal atheist who's into evolution or science information. And Tony Reed has definitely explained it to me in a manner in which I can understand it. Highly recommend his content.
His video series is great, and he's been poking his head in lately. Maybe he said life was basically in the way, but maybe he'll get back to doing some stuff here again. So looking forward to that.
I haven't seen a video from him in a while. In fact, the last one that I saw from him wasn't about science at all. It was about a travel to either Amsterdam or I think it was Amsterdam.
Yeah, his vacation. Yep.
Yeah, that's the last video I think I saw of him. But I watched all of his content. I mean, his playlist is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how he self-critiques him.
Oh yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. Yeah, it's a great thing that he's got going. He's got his own thing, his own style, and it works really well. But like you said, he's got to pay bills and things go on, and so. But great guy. We had a lot of fun. Tony does a lot of stuff with music too. He worked in clubs and stuff. So I think I gave him the music quiz. So we did a little music trivia when we had him on. So we had fun with that. And he missed one of the questions, but I had some bonus questions just in case. And he recovered with the bonus questions. So
nice.
He came away well.
I probably wouldn't do very well. I don't know if I remember many of the names out there in the world.
Well, in some of the interviews, if there's not like with Dan, there was a lot of things to talk about. And so with some of the other interviews, I like to sometimes I throw a little curveball. With Grayson, it was a get to know Grayson type questions, because this was back still. Grayson only had like 100 subscribers or something. He had just started. So it was like one of those fun little questions, like, do you prefer French fries or chips? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and I like Bigfoot. Everybody knows All Hail Bigfoot, and if you want to get a hold of me, it's easy to remember, allhailbigfoot@gmail.com. So I said, hey, I'm going to throw this at you. I always tell everybody before the show, And I said, I'm going to throw this at you. It's just for fun, But the last question is going to be, who's your favorite cryptid? And I just wanted to let you know ahead of time. I'm not going to give you the other questions, but I wanted you to know that one ahead of time. So he starts to think about it, and I said, there's only one answer. It's Bigfoot. And he's like, oh, okay. So so we have some fun with that. And a couple other guests have slipped mentions of Bigfoot in there too, and I appreciate it. So I have a lot of fun with the Bigfoot stuff. So, and then I came across a video of this young man explaining the Bible to us, and it was kind of noisy and windy, and hopefully he's improved his video quality. It was a little hard to hear him. James Apperson joined me, and we took a look at it and gave our little review on his Bible explained in 12 minutes. We don't think he did a very good job. And again, I like to promo the Grassmans, and then the Grassmans come out, and Trees and I do the Grassmans. So we've got the Grassman show. And the Grassmans, they do pretty good on views. Appreciate everybody that's into the Bigfoot and the ghost stories and everything that joins us. We have a lot of fun doing them. And again, I try to take everything, and Trees and I, that's our mantra with the Grassman Chronicles. We're not out to make fun of anybody. We're not out to call anybody names or anything else. We're just taking a look at things, examining the claims, giving our opinions, and we joke around, but it's lighthearted and it's nothing personal or anything like that. So we can have a good time while still trying to be as fair as possible at examining the claims. And that's what we try to do. So I hope everybody appreciates that that's what we do and enjoys the show. And Trees and I have plans for a lot more shows coming up. We got lots of ideas. So we just got to get them together. And sometimes, again, life gets in the way. Trees' schedule varies, so we have to adjust to when he's free. So that's what we do. But when he's free, we will do the show. And then a lot of you might know Doc Dino. He's done at least one debate. No, he's done more than one debate now. Usually over on Donnie Deal's channel, I believe. They may be some kind of biologist, paleontologist, something like that. I believe they just got a job working with fossils, which is something they wanted to do. So good for Doc. Doc came on. We took a look at Ken Ham's stuff, and I basically took some clips from 10 years ago. And then I took clips from today. Well, it was like a year or so ago, whatever it is, more close to this time. And Doc couldn't believe that how word for word it was, and hasn't changed in 10 years. It could have been you could have interchanged them, and it's the same exact words. I was like, he's got it down, and he repeats the same thing word for word. And Ken Ham, again, is my nemesis. He's the one that got me really involved with the creationist stuff. I never thought that it was anything big and serious. I thought it was just a very fringe thing. I had no idea how many millions of people follow people like Ken Ham and some of the others. So Ken Ham's always been my nemesis. So I like to talk about him. And if somebody wants to talk about Ken Ham, we're talking about him. So we did. And then we did it again. We had Mike from Answers in Atheism, which is a play on Answers in Genesis, because Mike started out, I guess, going after Ken Ham a lot. And Seth came back, and Dan Phelps came back, and Scott Duke joined us, who is off and on with Mike on his channel. And we were talking more stuff about Ken Ham. And so we called it Roasting Ham for Lunch with Friends. And I made up a thumbnail of some roasted ham there, you can see.
That's funny.
So
that's in the spirit of, that is in the spirit of Pelagia's Ham and Eggs.
I'm a big fan of Pelagia, even though he doesn't put me on any of his lists.
Do you want to be?
He doesn't return. He doesn't return my phone calls. Or I'm just kidding. I've been following Paul since the beginning. I remember when Paul posted on Facebook that he was looking for people to help him do some voiceovers when he was first starting his channel. I basically followed him from day one. Big fan. Paul does a great job.
I found Paul in Answers in Genesis or Hovens. Eric Hoven did that movie about the ark or the flood, about the flood. And I was looking for rebuttals to it. And he and Apologia and somebody else who's since deceased did a thing on it, on a rebuttal to it. And I'd looked for one for like a year. And I finally found it with Apologia. That's how I found his channel.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a connection with Ken Ham somehow that I came across his stuff. I've got a shirt. I've got a mug with ham and eggs on it. I'm a big fan.
Way to go, Dave. I did get to meet him in real life. At Better Conference in 2022. Year and a half ago.
Neat. I hope to one of these days get to one of these things and meet some of the folks. That would be really neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul, and then, starting out with his critiques, because again, he had a nemesis with Ken Ham because he basically kind of was raised on Ken Ham stuff, and then he left Ken Ham stuff. So kindred spirit, and got that nemesis with Ken Ham going. And but like I try to tell people, it's not just his silliness with the ark and everything else. Ken Ham has friends with a lot of money. Ken Ham talks with a lot of the politicians. A lot of them come to his Ark Park and his Creation Museum, and he's talking with them. And we have Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who at one time was Ken Ham's attorney, believes in all the same things. So you can dismiss Ken Ham just having his thing in his Ark Park there, but the reach extends beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it gets worrisome, where he can, I know people with deep pockets, and do you want to be elected into office? This is what we want, and so it's always big. And not to mention, he's a big homeschooling supplier. So he's supplying kids with stuff that he wants kids to know. And like I said earlier, they are not friendly to LGBTQ plus folks at all. They're not, they have no problem mixing politics with religion, even though he calls himself a ministry, which again, there's a big problem with, You're not supposed to do politics or religion, but it's hello, Stephanie. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year stuff.
So you got that whole, rabbit trail down there too. But it's a long thing. And everybody that follows any of them know, especially the big names that have a lot of money like Ken Ham, that it's more than just the silliness. People like Hovind and the rest of them, he just wants the money for himself. He couldn't care less about politics or anything else. He doesn't even care about having decent camera or audio or anything. But Ken Ham, and with the guy he's bringing in, this new Martin Iles guy, he's got a law background with working with one of these Christian groups in Australia. He's a big troublemaker, and he's not good news. And that's going to be the next generation that answers in Genesis. Yeah, and Mike Johnson. Yeah, he believes everything Ken Ham does. And again, these are people that are in office, so it's not just, again, we can laugh at Ken Ham, and I do, okay, because, but it's a little worrisome with the reach that he has. And the thing is, he's passing it all on to this new guy, and he's a young guy, so he's going to be around for a while. Ken Ham's getting, thinking about retirement and, who's going to take over and everything. And, credit to him, he should be doing stuff like that. But the guy he brought in, he's trouble. So then we were going along making Grassman episodes. And again, have a lot of fun with Trees. Trees and I have developed a great friendship doing this, and we text each other a lot and email, planning for the show, and we talk about other things, and we send each other jokes and, just all that kind of good stuff too. So cheers to Trees. Appreciate the friendship and the fun. And I've heard a lot of compliments from people on the approach Trees and I take, and that we work well together, and I think we do too. So here's to many more episodes of the Grassman Chronicles.
All right.
And I came up on, yep.
I got to take off. I just learned that we're going over to a friend's house early and starting New Year's Eve festivities an hour earlier than I thought. So
right on.
I got to go. Happy New Year to all. Nice to see Mike and Tapa Weasel and Steph and I see PC.
Yep.
Got Crystal in there. Happy New Year, AR. Cheers, all. Dave, it's great to see you. And Happy New Year.
We'll talk to you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And I was just going to get up to Tux here, but it is the celebration evening. A lot of folks going out. And yet, if you're going out, leave the keys at home. Okay. Take a Uber, take a taxi. Don't drive. Right. All right. But you have a safe one out there. Hello, Mike.
Hello. Hope I have my audio straightened out. Do I echo?
Sounds all right to me.
Sounds okay. Okay. Well, we'll leave it that way. Anyway, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Never did have my steak.
You didn't have your steak?
No, I got kind of sick.
Still bugging you.
Yeah, goddamn. It's like I'm getting old or something and my organs are failing. Yeah. I haven't had stomach aches in like 20 years, and then suddenly, the last month, it's all about that. Anyway, yeah. So, have it tomorrow.
Mike's yeah, Mike's having little gallbladder problems, and so
Well, not anymore. They ripped it out.
and they said bad gallbladder, you got to go. So
Yeah.
he's been a little sore.
Yeah, and the stream I did one day before I got my gallbladder surgery, I said, "Oh, I'll probably be out for a day," and it's been over 2 weeks now. So, yeah, it was no tiny thing. Anyway, how you doing? Oh, you mentioned Martin Isles.
Yep.
His name, it rearranged his name. It's Martin Lies. It's pretty. And anyway, he's back.
I've been binging his stuff.
He is bad.
I've got one that I think I might do on the climate change, where he's doing air quotes the whole time, and that is
he hits every one of the conservative scare points, right?
Mm-hmm.
The things that get conservatives going, get their juices going. And Martin Isle, and the reason that Ken Ham took him on is because he was such an amazing fundraiser over in Australia for some organization. I don't know what it is, but holy, that guy is one to watch. When he takes over for Ken Ham, I think it's going to really turn real sour. I mean, it's going to get worse. If you could imagine getting worse than Ken Ham.
He is, and it's called ACAP or something like that, ACAP or something like that. The Australian Christian something or other, something like that is the organization he worked, and it was similar to the organization that Mike Johnson worked for here.
Yeah,
where it was one of those Christian law firms.
Yeah, the thing about Ken Ham is that you look at the guy and you listen to the guy, and you can't take him seriously. I mean, he's like a comic character, right? Like a cartoon character. But Martin Isles doesn't have any of that. He's just pure, flat out, articulate, conservative, young, just absolutely going to be a menace.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, okay, you were going through
he threw in the while the elites fly in their private jets, the poor people have to pay the price. And he was going on about something about Holland or the Dutch farmers. So I had to go looking, and it goes back to this article, which is back to the EU talking about reducing their emissions and what their goals are to reduce emissions. And part of those are factory farms, which are 12% of emissions. And the Dutch have a big problem because they are really big in agriculture, but they've been poisoning their ground with too much manure. It's
really,
there's too much nitrates or whatever the thing they want to regulate. So they're messing up their own soil with it, and then they adding in the health risks, people getting sick and stuff because people live in and amongst these all this agriculture that's everywhere. And huge agriculture. I guess it blew up after World War II. And what I say it's all part of the EU and everything. Of course, this is the heavy hand of the government. Well, as you read though, there's also government things in there so that they can transition over to protein crops instead of protein animals, and all kind of government plans to help them out financially when they're transitioning. And he makes it sound again like they're just dumping on the little guy, but the plan they have sounds like they want them to transition, they're going to give them money, they're going to help them do it. And it didn't sound evil or awful at all, which again, once you go looking, that's usually what you find. And that's what I found. So yeah, I may do a video on it.
I was watching a documentary yesterday on poison in our food or something like that. It was about microorganisms in lettuce and spinach and beef or hamburger, that sort of thing. And they said that over in Europe, you can buy like guaranteed sterile or microorganism free meat and produce. But here we don't have anything like that. And people die from that E. coli, a particular strain of E. coli. And we still have no regulations against it. But anyway, it was an interesting documentary. But Europe seems to be ahead of us on that game. I don't know. Are they much into factory farms? I don't know. They have huge farms over there.
Yeah, part of the EU thing is that they want to reduce it because
Yeah,
the EU says it's 12% of greenhouse gases are factory farms.
yeah. I kind of like the way it used to be. Little 160-acre farms, and family owned.
But
People,
again, this is a conservative talking point that they don't want us to have hamburgers, and that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying.
Or we're making it tough on the small farmer. Well, them assholes have made it tough on the small farmer. It's the big factory farms that make the money right now and set the prices and set the standards. Small farmers, they just get screwed every which way, and nobody's helping them. So,
but the way he's throwing the talking points out there. Oh, the elites in their private jets, and the little man's paying the price. And that's just not when you go read the actual report from the EU, and they're not being hard. They have a long-term plan set up where every year or two they've got another reduction. It's transitioning. They always want to throw the scare of, they don't want you to drive your cars or use your gas stoves or
right.
And it's like, no, it's transitioning. It's like when we used to ride horses, and then cars came along. Everybody didn't give up their horse because they still had to get around until they could get a car.
Yeah. So where are you on your yearly review? I've only got about 15 more minutes, and I was
just talking about trees, and trees is awesome. We have a good time. And then I came up on 5,000 views, and I was like really blown away. I had 5,000 views. So I had a little open stream. A bunch of people came on. We were chit chatting, had a good time. Nitty and Mark and Andrew, always a pleasure talking with everybody. And that was a good time. And then again, I like doing the interviews. A lot of us know Ember, and Ember gives back. Ember gave a lot of us shout outs on Meet the YouTubers. Mike got one too. And I know a lot of all of us that talk to each other here that have channels. Ember gave everybody shout outs and said, go check out folks' channels. Ember does a lot of content. Ember's done debates. Ember's off and on with Mark Reed. You can find Ember and go check out Better Than with Ember if you aren't subscribed, because Ember does a lot of great stuff.
Stephanie mentioned Erica's Gussie Gibbons triple header yesterday. That was some really good stuff.
It was.
Yeah. Yep. That's very good. Very good.
Yep. I was watching. Always enjoy Erica's content. Erica scares a lot of these older gentlemen because she's a smart young woman.
Yep.
And it shows. It shows.
Yeah, they're going after her personally now in a number of ways.
That's what I say. It shows. I don't want to talk about it because she doesn't deserve it, but it does go on, and that is why, because she's smart and she's usually right. So, but so check out Ember. Ember does great stuff. And then we came up to my Scotland episode that I was talking about earlier. I had a great show all lined up. I had a guest host with the Bree joining me to cover my show, and Trees was transitioning his employment at this time, so we had to make do with that. And I was like, oh man, we got to make arrangements. And then Bree said, I will come in and I will help you out. And Bree did an awesome job. Unfortunately, during my show that we did so much prep for, I did the awesome intro video for. I did all the work, had my Scottish hat, had my bagpipes, we were going great. It was a great show, lots of viewers. And my neighbor across the street decides to
Get electrocuted.
get electrocuted and blow the power out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So Dave was not happy sitting here in the dark with his Scottish bonnet on. And then, of course, we found out it was the neighbor. And I like the neighbor. We're friendly with him, and I've helped him out. And, of course, then we were concerned with him being okay. And luckily, he's okay. He's still okay. He's still with us. But yeah, he sure buzz killed my evening blowing out the power. So I was trying to get, and of course I couldn't do anything with the stream because my power was out, and I was streaming through my PC, so I couldn't get into my PC from a remote device. Wouldn't let me do anything. So I'm telling Bree over my phone, look, I can't do anything. Just let it go. So Bree called it. Bree tried to cover. She was doing a great job. She pulled some stuff up on her computer, and she was going on and trying to help out and carry it on, hoping I would get back on. And finally I said, look, we got fire department here, everything. It's going to be a while. So
yeah. Most inconsiderate, Stephanie says. Bad neighbor. Bad neighbor.
Yep.
Buzz killed himself.
He burned his arm all the way up. His whole arm was bandaged. They had to
What the hell was he? What was he doing? He had a ladder, right? A ladder?
He's got a ham radio set up.
Oh, okay.
And they were out messing with the rigging or something, and they sparked the big line out behind his house, not the little one coming into the house.
Yeah.
They hit the big line out behind his house with cable or something, and it went right, because he was holding on to it, it went right down his arm and blew him onto the ground. And fire department and the emergency had to cut his clothes off because they were smoking. So when you see that in the movies where people are smoking and you think it's just for effect, nope.
Right.
He was actually smoking. Yeah. So he went naked in the ambulance, but fortunately he recovered. So.
Growing up in rural Minnesota, I had this friend named Rodney, and five times out of 10, when our power would go out, it was because he hit a telephone pole somewhere.
That's the thing, with, he's one of the neighbors that I like, so I couldn't, it's hard to be mad, so, but it was one of those things. But luckily the power did come back on later at night. And Tux, who was just here, he had to go, but I said, hey, somebody wants to join me, because Bree had already gone on with Bree's evening, and I don't hold it against Bree. Bree did a wonderful job and everything. But Tux said, I'll help you finish up. So Tux came on and we finished the show, because the show must go on. And dang it, I had everything ready, and I had my hat my bagpipes, and I wanted to show everything off because I have a proud Scottish heritage. So the show went on and we did finish it. So appreciate Tux helping out. And then, because of everything that happened, and it was kind of a buzzkill, and I know a lot of the viewers, weren't there later because it was later at night. Don't blame anybody. So I put out a bonus episode on the Big Gray Man. So that was my little extra for the buzzkill of the show. So we did a bonus episode for the Scotland Grassman. And of course I covered the Loch Ness Monster. And again, so I had to do my show because I was covering the Loch Ness Monster. So. And then we did the Grassman giveaway where Crystal won a shirt. Crystal answered the question correctly. So Crystal's in the club with a Grassman shirt. And then Blaster Master, I was talking with Blaster Master in the chat one day, and Blaster said a lot of the apologists had come through the church that he went to. I guess it was one of these bigger churches that they go through. So I said, well, hey, I'd like to hear about that. So he stopped by and we were chatting about these different apologists. A lot of the big names came through: William Craig, Turek, all those. Ken
Hey, Dave,
Ham.
I have to take off, heading to my son's for New Year's Eve. So,
All right. Have a good
anyway, happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Yep. 2024. How about that shit?
Have a safe one.
Yep. Okay. Bye.
Talk to you later. And Happy New Year, everyone. And be safe out there. If you're going out to have a good time, have a good time. Be safe out there, right? So yeah, we had Blaster Master. So we talking about the apologists that had come through, and he gave a good story about his father answering the door when the JWs were at the door in his tighty whities and saying, "Come on in." And it was funny. Great anecdote. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I did the video saying that I was going to review Dan Green's book, Who is Deconverted Man? And that's what we did. We had Dan on to discuss his book. And again, Deconverted Man's always a pleasure to talk with. We have a good time. And he appreciated the interview and the kind words. And I meant every one of them. I enjoyed reading his book. Check out the video. There's a link there. Get his book. It's a good book. It's you can read it in a couple sittings. It's not real long, but it's got some really good stuff in there. And if you're deconverting, it's a good read. He's very kind to everyone. He doesn't hold ill will, doesn't speak bad of people that he went to church with or the pastors or anything. It's not like that. It's he words things very well. He's very kind about things and very understanding. And help him out, get his book. All right. And then, as I mentioned with the Hugh Ross and everything that I did, it all started with SJ had a video with this Ken Ami on, and he's big into a lot of far out stuff. With the aliens and the demons and the Ouija boards and all that kind of good stuff. So I did a little review, and James came on with me, and we were talking about that. And that led to what will be coming up here after the next Grassman Chronicles episode. We did Sea Monsters, and we had Stephanie Helms on, and Stephanie was a great guest. We were talking about sea monsters, so we thought we need to have Stephanie on because Stephanie is often at sea. And Stephanie was great, gave us some great stories about whales having bad breath, and we had a good time. And what can I say? Trees and Stephanie, I'm in good company. We had a good time. And I also had my bird. And appreciate everybody that noticed that I had a bird. And I try to have a little fun with the shows. Here and there, I get a prop and, get into it, right? So I got me a sailor shirt and I had a bird. So it was a good show, I think. We had 145 views, plus we had more views because we also have it on Trees channel. And we had it on the Grassman channel, so it did really well when you had them all up. So that was a good time. And then because of the alien stuff and the SJ video and the Hugh Ross videos and everything else all adding up, if you play with the Ouija board and the tarot cards, the UFOs are going to show up, which are really demons in disguise as aliens trying to fool everybody. And the Ouija boards and the tarot cards, especially the Ouija boards, they just seem to terrify people, even people that aren't really religious or superstitious or anything else. The Ouija board just seems to give people the creeps, right? Well, I had heard it for the last time, somebody was talking Ouija boards and tarot cards and on and on. And so I got some. I couldn't resist. And I did a stream live. We opened up the boxes. This was all, I try to go in and I joke, okay? But when I do these things, I try to take it seriously. So I went in, I didn't know anything about them. So I opened the box, I read the directions, and we did the stuff, right? So the challenge being, Hugh Ross says if you mess with this stuff, the UFOs are going to show up, which are actually aliens, which goes back to some of my previous videos I was already talking about, and how it all ties back together with looking for the aliens, doing the sky checks and everything else. Because I played with this stuff, and the UFOs are supposed to show up. Because according to Hugh Ross, the only people who see UFOs are people that dabble in the occult. So if you read your horoscope or any of that stuff, these are the people that see UFOs. And I want to see a UFO. I've never seen a UFO. And so I played with the stuff. And I mentioned earlier, I also did the stream with Robin. Robin was teaching me about tarot cards. So we covered the tarot cards. And then in my stream, I was alone because I was home alone. So there's an upcoming one where I'm going to cover the Ouija board, where my son joined me to make sure we had two hands on the Ouija board. I had spells. We did some spells. Tobin joined me. We had a good time. Tobin was a great guest. We did spells. We did sage incense. I tried everything. And so far, no aliens, no UFOs, no nothing. So I have been warned, and even some of the people that I talked to that are religious said, "Oh, Dave, you shouldn't be messing with that stuff." Well, I mess with it, and I don't see any UFOs. So I'm a little disappointed, but maybe they're still, trying to find my house or something. I am unlisted, so maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. But we had a great time doing the summoning stream. A lot of people were in the chat asking questions, and we were asking the chat to ask us to ask questions and some spells they wanted and everything. So we had a good time, and we learned some stuff. Whether you believe in it or not, you can't really argue against it if you don't know anything about it. So I tried to make sure at least we learned something about it, and I learned something about it along the way. And then again with the moderates, Cy Gart, somewhat of a moderate, but then on other things, Cy is not so much of a moderate. And Cy was talking with Bread, Rebecca. So we were reviewing it and talking about Cy and Bread and how Cy can seem moderate with some things, but again, like with Hugh Ross, other things he's not so moderate. So depending what talk he's giving and what audience he has, you get a different version of these folks. So it's interesting to see when you think they're moderate, and then they're talking about things that doesn't make them sound like moderates whatsoever. And again, I love talking with Mike. I rebroadcasted some of his stuff, and then we started simulcast streaming, got that figured out. So hello, Sinister. Good to see you. So then we started dual streaming, and we were talking about JG. And then Halloween was coming up, and I thought we'll throw out a short. So we threw out a short for Grassman, and we did the Black Cat little teaser for Halloween. And then Seth, as I mentioned, has been on a few times, who worked for Ken Ham. So did Leia. And Seth put me in touch with Leah, and Leah came on to talk about Leah's time at Answers in Genesis and about Leah's journey through religion and to not being religious now and what's going on in Leah's life. And Leah, at last I heard when Leah was on, is going to school and taking some type of biology classes. And we wish Leah all the best. And what a great guest. And of course, again, if you're going to talk about Ken Ham, I'm all ears. So I've had a couple guests on that have actually worked for Ken Ham. And I've had Dan Phelps on a couple times, who is the guy that gets all the background information. Everything we know about the taxes and everything about Ken Ham is Dan Phelps. And of course, again, I talk with Mike a lot, and Mike is another thorn in Ken Ham's side, so to speak. His channel is Answers in Atheism, which is a play on Answers in Genesis, which is Ken Ham's organization. So we all love to talk about Ken Ham. And then this one here, I am going to review next week. This is Troy Black, I believe his name is. A lot of folks know who he is. He puts out prophecies like almost every day. God talks to him, and he puts out these prophecies that don't really seem to mean anything. I follow him, and I thought about covering some stuff a few times, but it's just a lot of it's just nothing, and it's so I just wasn't paying much attention. Well, one caught my eye, NFL prophecy, and so I like watching football, even though today not so much. My team lost, but NFL prophecy, okay, and this is going to happen by the end of the season. So I'm like, this is the kind of prophecy I'm looking for, right? This has to happen within the next couple months. This was a couple months ago, and I checked the official end of the NFL season is with the last game next week. So I'm going to be revisiting this and his prophecies about the NFL, and we'll see if we can find anything in any of the things he said about the NFL after the last game next weekend, and we'll do a revisit, see how Troy did. And then we, as I mentioned earlier, Slew came by, who is Tree's sibling. We did the Halloween episode, and for fun, we covered vampires and werewolves and mummies because they are the classics, right? And there was also mentions of witches and other things in there. So, and we had done some ghost stories previously, and with the Black Cat short. And so we think we covered most of them, at least prior, and then with the Halloween episode. So we wanted to give nods to all the classics. And I also gave a quick nod to Frankenstein. So we believe we covered them pretty good. And that was fun. And Slew also has a channel. Again, everybody's channels are linked on my channel. Go check out their channels. And again, I love doing stuff with trees, and we've had numerous guests on now, and we hope to have more in the future. So if you've got an interest in any of that stuff, just let us know. We'd love to have more guest hosts on. We have a good time. And then again, we're talking about Stephen Meyer over with Mike. Do a lot of shows over with Mike, and love talking with Mike. What can I say? Talk with Mike. He'd say Mike was just here a minute ago. Mike and I talk on the phone. We talk about a lot of different things. Mike's got a lot of insights. Mike's got a lot of knowledge. Mike's funny. Mike's a good time. So whenever Mike's doing a stream, he says, "You want to join in?" I was like, "Heck yeah, I want to join in." It's always a good talk. And again, over at Mike's stream, talking about Sunflower and what Sunflower had to say in one of the other streams. And because I like to do follow-ups, I didn't have another person, as I said, with my summoning stream. So for Halloween, my son actually had the night off, the night of Halloween, and what better night to do it? So we also waited until it was dark out and everything else, because this stuff works better when it's dark out, I guess. So we did that, and he actually joined me. So we had 2 hands on the Ouija board, or 2 sets. I should 2 sets of hands on the Ouija. There was 2 people, so we were doing the Ouija board as good as we could do. And he also donned an alien mask, and we were joking a little bit about not seeing any aliens, so he had a mask on. So we had a little joke going with it at the same time. But Alec had also joined me the previous Halloween, and we had gone over the Amityville Horror together, because he hadn't seen the Amityville Horror. So it was perfect person to talk to about the Amityville Horror. So I thought this would be the perfect thing to have him back again for this Halloween. And he's a good sport. And he joined me for a few minutes in between his gaming, and I appreciate his time. And the stream was called With My IT Tech, and he is my IT tech. He helps me out a lot. I get stuck on some with my computer, and my son helps me out. Appreciate a lot. And we'll see. Maybe next Halloween he'll be back. And then Leo did the debates at the Debate Con, and we were talking about how Leo did, and we thought Leo did really good. So good, we did another stream about it. And again, love talking with Mike. What can I say? Mike does a great job. Always have some great conversations. And Mike has other folks on too, joining in. So you never know who's going to be on or who might be joining in. A lot of people pop in, and like Dr. Chris popping in is one that we had a great conversation with. So you never know who's going to be over there. It's always a good conversation. Subscribe at Answers in Atheism and catch Mike when he's on. And then I had an interview with Tobin. Tobin Templeman has a show, has a channel, Tobin Templeman. And he's been on a break recently. Something was causing a little break. He had a stream up, said he'll be back another time. So we hope Tobin gets everything straightened out and is doing well. Tobin is a musician. We had a great interview, not only talking about all kinds of things and a little bit about Tobin's experiences with religion, but also a lot about the music and how that influences him. And of course, as I showed on my videos, he wrote a song about the Grassman, and it's one of my favorite songs now, and it probably always will be. So Tobin, I wish you well. Get a hold of me. And I don't know, I just might have to play the song again, because now I want to hear the song. But it was really touching. Tobin showed up with a Grassman song, and it just made the interview. It was a surprise. Really great having Tobin on. And I had a 5,000 views celebration. So I had a 10,000 views celebration, and we covered Farmer Josh, and it was a long one. It was an open mic. It was just going on. I had a glass of wine. I was having a good time, and I wanted to cover Farmer Josh anyways. So Farmer Josh got a little roasting, and appreciate everybody that stopped through, and we had a good time talking. A lot of folks were in the chat. So always like having those just fun streams like this one, just chatting, no big deal. Don't have to worry about messing up a script or anything, or the power going out, or any other tragedies. My camera was lagging, so I turned it off. when I playing with this other window here, it was lagging my camera. So. But then we're almost up to, this is the last episode. We had a tabloid type episode with I Had Bigfoot's Baby, covering basically like a lot of tabloid headlines with supposed personal encounters with Bigfoots or physical evidence of Bigfoots, things that were beyond just a sighting or a picture. So that was the theme of the show. And we try to cover it fairly, but these stories were pretty ridiculous and a lot were out and out frauds. So we tried to do as fair as possible, but all you could really do was just read what they claimed they had and then reading what actually they had. And most of it wasn't very good. One of the Bigfoot bodies was actually a rubber suit and a freezer. It's hard to be kind when people are doing these kind of frauds, but we covered it. We had a good time doing it. Always, again, a pleasure working with trees. And then Purple does the Christmas marathon every year. And Purple asked if I'd like to do a segment in there. And I said, sure, I'd like to do a segment in there. So we had a good time doing my part of the Christmas marathon. I was on noon till 2 p.m. And I was between Stephanie and Bree, who Stephanie was before me and Bree was after me. So I was in good company there. And it was, I would follow as many as I could, except when I was asleep. I tried to pop on almost everybody else's channels that were in the stream. A lot of folks were on them, a lot of chats going on, a lot of people following each other to the other channels. Everybody's subscribing to new people they didn't know. A lot of friendly talk. Seemed to be a good success. I know Purple was tired, going 48 hours. And a lot of other folks too, Jenny and a lot of the other ones were in a lot of the, Beck and all, Ember. They were in a lot of them. So I know it was a long day for them, but tried to spread the love. Purple wants to make sure that folks that might not have a lot of company on the holidays or for various reasons are home alone, that they could join in and, you know, have a little social time and know that they're loved. And the community welcomes everybody that might be having a difficult time this time of year to know that you've got a friend out there. So it's good spirit, good love sending and all that stuff, good vibes. And I hope some folks out there got through the holidays a little bit better, knowing that somebody's out there thinking about you. So it was a good time. A lot of folks stopped by. And that brings me up to today. Now, I don't have a really big channel. Like I say, mostly I got started making videos this year. I made a few last year, but 23 is really when I started making videos and doing stuff with other folks and making a lot of contacts and a lot of, like I say, different people getting a hold of me, going on their channels and everything, which has all been great. My channel's grown and my view counts have gone up. And like I say, when I showed my video section, my little Bigfoot video blew up over 700 views, and I'm calling that viral for Dave. All right. So that really made my night. And a couple other videos over 400. Steady progress is what I'm seeing. I had about 30 or 50 views and then 100. And now I'm getting a couple hundred views. I've got a couple hundred subscribers. And a lot of my subscribers are actually checking out my videos. So I appreciate that not only that you subscribe, but you actually check out my stuff. Appreciated. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Been about 20 new subscribers recently. Appreciate all of you. Hope hope you enjoyed the videos. I've got plans for some stuff, and I've got a backlog of stuff that I didn't get to last year that I want to do too. And Santa brought Dave a microscope, and the microscope has a camera slot on it, and I'm going to do some micro looking. If I can't find the aliens in the telescope, we're going to see if we can't find them in the microscope. So I thought I'd have some fun with that. And I have my live biological environment out back with my pond, and I'm hoping to find a lot of cool things under the microscope that might be living in the pond. So that's something I'm gonna play around with it and probably do a video, and then other stuff will obviously have to wait because we're in the winter time here. So I'm in North America, and I don't know how much life there is swimming around in the pond this time of year. But come warm weather, there'll definitely be another stream where we can look for all the things hatching in springtime. I know I've got dragonfly nymphs in there, and I know there's a lot of other things swimming around in there. I can see them in the summer evenings swimming around in the lights. So hopefully we'll have some cool things going there. Trees and we got lots of plans for Grassman stuff. We've got months down the road of stuff we want to do. So we got a lot of great shows coming up with the Grassman. And again, Trees is having this giveaway. This is going to come up here pretty soon. As soon as we can set a date, we'll do our show for the winter Bigfoot episode. And we will cover the Yeti. And we're going to cover another one that's Mrs. Snowman story. And Trees is going to set up the giveaway. And we hope to have a great game going there and give back again to all the viewers. But you have to be a subscriber at the Grassman Chronicles to win. So if you're not subscribed over there, get over there and hopefully you can win this prize. Trees has got, he says it's worth over $100. So you can win a nice Bigfoot survival kit, I believe he's calling it. And we want to have a lot of fun at the Grassman Chronicles. We want to check out a lot of the stories, and we're going to check out a lot of the big stories, and we're going to check out a lot of the stories that you might not have heard about. And we want to have fun with so many people that have joined us in the chats and everything. Join in the fun, join in the All Hail Bigfoots in the chats. I always appreciate everybody with the All Hail Bigfoots. So we appreciate everybody. We want to give back and have these fun little games now and then. So stay tuned. You never know what game we're going to have or what we're going to give away, but it's a lot of fun, and we want to have a lot of fun with the channel. So I hope everybody enjoys it. I'm going to click this off here. See if my camera is back in time. As soon as I clicked on the other window there, my camera seemed to go to slow-mo. But a glass of wine. Yeah, I had a glass of wine. Dave doesn't drink a lot, but it was one of those special occasions. So I had a glass of wine. I had my tuxedo T-shirt on, and had a good time. And I appreciate everybody that watches my stuff. I really do. Having thousands of subscribers is nice, but having folks that subscribe and actually watch my stuff and leave comments, it's appreciated. It means a lot. And I figured do a little review. I kind of borrowed Deconverted Man's idea. I'm sure he's not alone. There's probably a lot of folks that are doing review type videos today, and so I'm gonna do one too. So, and I wanted to celebrate because in the last few weeks I've had a few videos that have really taken off, and I thought that was really neat. For whatever reason, hopefully because I just made a cool little video, they got a lot of views. So that's appreciated. My year's been doing good. I went up in my subscribers. I went up in my video count. I went up in views, and I've got plans for a lot more, and I hope it'll do well. I wanted to, everybody that made Paul's list and everybody that was on Ember's shows, all the channels. Wish you all the best too. There's a lot of great channels out there. A lot of folks making a lot of great content. And it's always neat to see everybody that's doing well out there. And I'll say I just got a small channel. I'm happy with what I do. I just got a few things to say, and I like talking with folks about some of the topics I enjoy talking, and this is a great way to do it. So that's what I do on my channel. You never know what it's going to be. It could be aliens or Bigfoots or ghosts or Ken Ham. Religion, I do take on religion. I don't really like to go on about it too much. I've talked with a few apologists. I've talked with a few Muslim apologists, and I just don't see much of a point in it anymore. I've heard all the stuff so many times, and they don't have anything new. So I mostly, when they stray away from religion and they start talking about science or social issues, that's more when I do a video on them. Some of the other stuff, I think I've already covered it in some of my videos, and it's just repeating a lot of the same old, same old. I know a lot of other people do content on all these things, and there's a lot of folks that haven't heard this stuff a lot of times. And by all means, make your videos. People need to hear it, but certain things I just take a pass on. Or I'm not a scientist, so I don't like to step on toes that are better covered, like Erica and some of the other folks that are scientists and do this stuff well, Doc Dino and the rest. Let them handle it, and I enjoy watching their stuff. And I try to do a layman's approach, right? When I cover any of these topics, science or social issues or anything, I go at it as a lay person, and I just try to give my opinion on it, and that's it. I don't try to put myself off as an expert or anything. I like talking about stuff, so that's why I like doing the interviews. I like doing the collaborations, and I like participating in the chats and on other people's channels, just to talk about a lot of these things and learn a few things along the way. And a lot of folks, there's a lot of learned people out there. Unfortunately, the Hovens and other ones are out there too, but watch out for them. Okay, they don't serve any purpose. They're not making counter discoveries or counter cures or counter inventions showing how much better of a method they have to do anything. It's just nitpicking, got of the gaps, trying to sell their videos and their books, and let them just go away. I mean, seriously, they need to just go away. And otherwise, I think I covered everything. Like I say, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy that everybody watches my stuff that's actually subscribed. I'm happy that all the extra people that have watched my stuff that aren't subscribed. And I'm happy to do more videos, more interviews, and I do have people lined up. Hope to have a lot more interviews. I really enjoy talking with folks. And I've got, I think, about a dozen videos that are all in the works. So I'll keep myself busy. And my journey through this is what I've been telling people. And Ember, I gave the wise words of your first video is always going to be your worst. So if you want to make a video, do video. And as you go, try to make a little better. Learn to do a green screen so you can do your stuff behind you. A lot of programs are free. Things like DaVinci has a lot of support. You can go on YouTube, learn how to do the stuff, add to it as you go. You know, that's what I've done. My first video was just me sitting here talking with Brian. I'm sorry, and my second one was just me sitting here talking with Adam. And then when you start doing videos and you want to kind of just not sit there and talk and have a little something going on, just add in little things, learn how to add the more fancier stuff. I'm trying to go to Fusion and DaVinci, which does a lot more fancier graphics. And then you go to that next level, go check out Nerdy Rodent and other channels like Nerdy, Geo Sam, and the rest. They give you all kind of tips on how to do stuff. And just do it, you know. And the more you do it, the more fun you have with it. And you can learn to do edits. If you screw up, you can go back and edit it out, you know, fix things up. Whoops. Okay. I had a glitch. I think the demons are telling me it's time to stop. Yeah, love me some Nerdy. Yep. And there's a lot of other names. People are great. They're giving tips. They're showing you how to do stuff. And I say you got all kind of free software to edit audio, video, to do Photoshop. There's programs like GIMP that are free to do basically all kind of Photoshop stuff. And I saw a video, something about some kind of AI additions that GIMP is adding or something. So there's more stuff coming. I'm sure DaVinci's got some stuff too coming. Yeah, go out there and do it. Have a lot of fun with it. And do what you want to do. That's what I do. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to copy somebody else because, you know, that's not fun. You know, do you. Do what you like to do. If you do gardening, whatever it is, make a video because I and a lot of other people like watching things that aren't just talking about, you know, dismantling religion or something like that. I like a break. Check out somebody's garden or their home projects or whatever you're into. Post them, make some videos. There's people out there love. A lot of us are saying all we do is watch YouTube anymore. We hardly watch TV anymore. So a lot of us are looking for something to watch. So you put it out there, people will watch it. All right. And I think that's about it. That's a wrap. Happy New Year. May y'all have a great 2024. All hail Bigfoot. And give a shout out, like I say, give it everybody that's been on my channel. I don't want to miss anybody, so I'll just say thank you to everybody that's been on. And I look forward to, yeah, TV is so lame anymore. I know I watch a couple of my shows and that's it. And football. That's about it. So, but yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by. I hope you all have a good one and have a safe one. Please don't go out and party and drive. Okay. I want to see y'all next year. Thanks for everybody stopping by. Doorknob, Stephanie, Samami. Appreciate everybody stopping by. And I appreciate all of you and all the content, everybody that does on their channels too. I enjoy your stuff and hope to see more in 2024.